And you're too old, then when they unfreeze you in the future, you're gonna be too grumpy to have any fun. So if I win the lottery or something in the next few years, I'm gonna use the money to buy myself a one-way ticket to the future. 44. I'm not telling anyone about my plan, though. There's this jerk at our school named Philip Crivello, and his parents are rich. So if he gets the same idea as me, I could still be dealing with him 100 years from now. But I'm not sure if 100 years is far enough to go. By then I'm sure I'll have a bunch of great nieces and nephews who need babysitting, and I'm not spending all that money just so I can change a bunch of dirty diapers in the future. 45. I'm planning on staying frozen a lot longer, like 1,000 years, because by then things will be really interesting. I'm not willing to go any further than that, though, because who knows how much human beings will have evolved by then. 46. If I don't win the lottery in the next few years, I guess I'm gonna have to find a cheaper option. Albert Sandy said that people who can't afford to get their whole body frozen can just freeze their brains. I'm kind of nervous handing my brain off to some people I don't even know, though. I'm guessing they're not paying their employees a lot of money to basically wait around and do nothing, so I'm kind of concerned about the quality of help they have working at these freezing places. 47. After your brain gets unfrozen, I guess they'll put it in a robot body, which probably takes a lot of getting used to. But if I can scrape together enough money, I'm gonna freeze my whole body and do it right. Because whenever you go with the cheaper option, you end up regretting it. 48. Saturday. There are only a few weeks to go until Halloween, and my family spent the morning putting up our decorations in front of the house. We used to keep it really basic and hung some cobwebs, a few jack-o'-lanterns, and a plastic spider or two. But then our neighbors started going all out on Halloween, and suddenly our decorations looked pretty skimpy. So last year Mom handed Roderick $40 and told him to go out and pick up some more stuff for the front porch. 49. But Roderick blew it all on this really awful electronic plastic witch. The way it works is, if you clap or make a loud noise, the witch lets out this blood-curdling cackle that goes on forever. Then it shakes and its eyes glow red. 50. But whoever created that thing set the volume too high, and there's no way to turn it down. You have to wait for the witch to go through its whole routine, which is like 2 minutes long. We hung it out over the front porch last year, but little kids were too scared of the thing, and the only trick-or-treaters we had were the teenagers who came by after 10 p.m. The day after Halloween, Dad put the witch on a shelf in the furnace room in the basement, and that's where it's been ever since. But that doesn't mean it's stopped causing problems. 51. The witch is super sensitive to sound, and sometimes the slightest noise will set it off, even if the noise is on a different floor. To make matters worse, the witch seems to have a mind of its own, and sometimes it'll go off randomly even if no one makes a peep. I've had at least 2 sleepovers and early because of that thing. 52. I've trying all year to convince Mom and Dad to throw the witch away, but Dad says it's just a plastic toy and I need to stop being such a scaredy cat. But I guess Mom got sick of the witch randomly going off all the time, and a few weeks ago she told Dad to go downstairs and take the batteries out, which he did. And what happened next is the reason I haven't been in the furnace room ever since. What stinks is that all my old Halloween costumes are down in the furnace room. So unless Mom's willing to spring for something new, I guess I'm not going trick-or-treating this year. 53. Sunday. Well, all the hard work we put into decorating for Halloween yesterday got wiped out. A bunch of geese got at the jack-o'-lanterns in the middle of the night and made a huge mess. Every fall, geese flying south for the winter make a pit stop in our town and stick around for a few weeks before heading back out. Usually they poop all over the soccer field at the town park, but other than that they're pretty harmless. For some reason, though, this year they're super aggressive toward people. 4. For the past few weeks, me and Rolly have been getting ambushed just about every day on our walk home from school. And the geese aren't just going after kids, either. Whenever Dad goes out to get the mail, he's gotta arm himself for battle. Dad wants to call animal control to clear the geese off our street, but Mom won't let him. 55. She says geese have been flocking to these parts for thousands of years, and if anything, we're the ones intruding on their lives. I'm personally fine with animals, as long as they keep their distance. But I think if we don't draw a line somewhere, we're just headed for trouble. My science teacher said that 40,000 years ago, dogs used to be wild animals, just like wolves. But then I guess they saw our warm fires and cozy caves and wanted to get in on the action. So they wagged their tails and did a few tricks, and that's all it took. 56. Nowadays, dogs have it made. People spend all kinds of money buying them gourmet food and cushiony beds. I'm sure the reason wolves seem so ticked off all the time is because they're just jealous they didn't think of kissing up to people first. Cats aren't stupid either. Last summer MRS. Fredericks up the street fed a stray cat that was hanging out in her yard, and each night after that more cats came. Now the cats have completely taken over her house, and she recently had to sell her car so she could afford to keep feeding them. 57. We've problems with our own pet, which is a pig. Personally, I think it should live outside in a pen or a shed or something, but instead it lives inside the house with us. And not only does it use the same bathtub as me, but I'm 99% sure it's been using my toothbrush, too. And that thing is smart, which makes me kind of nervous. 58. In fact, I think it's been trying to learn how to communicate with us. Manny has this toy called a See and Talk, where you pull a string and it says a word. Somehow, the pig figured out how to use the See and Talk, and every so often it manages to put together a full sentence. 59. Lately I've been thinking there's gotta be a way the two of us can team up. I've heard a pig's sense of smell is 2,000 times better than a human being's. That talent could really come in handy. Mom always buys the Halloween candy for trick-or-treaters a few weeks early, and she hides it somewhere so the rest of us don't get at it. I've turned the house upside down looking for it, but so far no luck. And if the pig knows what I'm looking for, it's not being very helpful. This time of year is torture for a kid. There are all these candy commercials on TV, and every time you walk into the grocery store it's like they're trying to mess with you. 60. But Mom says I can't have any candy until Halloween night, which I think is totally cruel. I think I figured out a way to get my hands on some candy before Halloween, though. My school is having a contest called the Balloon Brigade, which it does every October. Each student gets a helium balloon, and everyone releases theirs at the same time. They give you these little cards to write your name and address on, and when people find the balloons they're supposed to send them back. C1. The school has a big map on a bulletin board near the library, and when a kid turns in a balloon, Vice Principal Roy uses a thumbtack to mark how far it went. At the end of the week he measures the distance each balloon traveled to find out whose went the farthest, and that kid gets a reward. 62. Last year, Andrea Gennaro's balloon traveled 43 miles, and she won a $30 gift certificate for the book fair. But this year the grand prize is a giant jar of candy corn, which is sitting in Vice Principal Roy's office right now. The school puts a little code on each balloon so nobody cheats and turns in a store-bought balloon. I've never had one of my balloons sent back to me, though. I need